Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, I'm the presenter Priska Melania Sari. It's such an honor and delighted to be here to present our research entitled Cultural Content in ELT Textbook of Indonesian Secondary School and Intercultural Perspective Analysis. The first point that I would like to present is our background of study. According to Leptic and Theo in 2020, English learners should be able to understand how important it is to connect with the international community by mastering appropriate ways to engage people of different cultures. Confucius in 2018 state that textbook as the main teaching media also makes learning more structured and planned, making it easier for learners to understand the material. Meliti in 2013 argues that the globalization of the textbook, not just in terms of themes but also the identities of learners, should be taken seriously into textbook materials. In short, the reason why the researchers use textbook in this research is because textbook is the main teaching media and culture as the main focus is because language is part of the culture itself. In this study, there are two research questions that will be discussed. The first one is to examine what cultural content are presented in the ELT textbook entitled Bahasa Inggris Tinggal Bali Act Locally, and the second one to explore cultural contents are presented in the ELT textbook entitled Bahasa Inggris Tinggal Bali Act Locally. As for the research gap, the previous research using different framework, a research by Setiono and Widodo in 2019 used a framework that focused on respecting pluralism and respecting indigenous human rights to find some cultural content from the textbook. And Gunantar in 2017 used a framework from Byram in 1993 to find Indonesian cultural material in textbook. However, in this research, it centers on how cultures are portrayed in ELT textbook based on three types of culture in Cortese Engine in 1999 and four sense of culture in Underscore et al. In 1990. The first point of the literature review is the relation between culture and language. We're using the theory from Brown in 2010. It states that language and culture are linked in the sense that they are one thing and each is a component of the other. As a result, they cannot be separated since doing so destroys the meaning of both culture and language. And the second point is the frameworks from Cortese Engine. In 1999, they divided culture into three types. The first one is source culture. Source culture is the culture of the language learners, in this case Indonesia. Target culture is the culture of country that's using English as the first language. And international culture is the culture that's where the country is not using English as their first and second language. And the third point is frameworks by Underscore Burton and Fassi in 1990. They state that there are four sense of cultures. The first one is aesthetic sense. It encompasses the media, movies, music, and most importantly, literature research. And sociological sense, it relates to the organization and character of the family, home life, and interpersonal relationship. While semantic sense refers to the conceptual framework embedded in language that shapes all of the perception and thinking process, while pragmatic sense refers to underlying knowledge, social skill, and paralinguistic abilities that enable successful communication, in addition to mastery of the language code. To answer both questions, we use qualitative research that focus on textbook Bahasa Inggris Tinggal Beli Ek Locally as the data source, and frameworks of Cortese Engine and Underscore et al. As the data instrument, and document analysis as the data collection technique. This is the findings. The table shows that the majority of the data comes from the source culture or Indonesia culture, with all chapters owning the content, and 6 of the 11 chapters are contain the target culture. Moreover, international culture is discussed in 3 chapters out of 11 in this textbook. As for the frequency, target culture is source culture is discussed in every chapter with a total 236 times. Target culture is appeared 12 times total, and international culture appears 4 times. This is the example of the search culture, target culture, and international culture. In search culture, we can see a teacher and student wear Indonesian school uniform, while in target culture, there is a song by Jason, which is an American singer-songwriter, and there is a folk tale, The Golden Starfruit Tree, which is a folktale from Vietnam. And for the second research question, the cultural content census, we found that aesthetic sense exists only in 3 chapters out of 11, and pragmatic sense is being included in 10 chapters out of 11. Moreover, semantic sense is exposed in all of the 11 chapters, while sociological sense is only explored in 5 chapters. As for the frequency, semantic sense in yellow chart appears 183 times, then the second spot is taken by pragmatic sense, which appears 84 times, while sociological sense came in the third place, with its material appear 55 times, while the last is aesthetic sense, which appears 5 times total in 3 chapters. This is the example of semantic sense and pragmatic sense. In semantic sense, you can see there is the food from Indonesia, the title with the name Fried Kepok Banana Sensation. And in pragmatic sense, you can see there is two people talking using progressive tense. And in sociological sense, you can see there is a relationship between a father and a son. And in aesthetic sense, you can see there is a song with the title Orphan by Toto. The findings and discussion for this research is the two aspects discussed demonstrate the textbook entitled Think Globally, Act Locally doesn't provide adequate cultural content. In relation to this, the author of the textbook should consider including material on the target culture and international culture, as well as other senses in the textbook. While this textbook is heavily weighted towards semantics, students also need to develop other senses such as aesthetic, social, and pragmatic. To improve students' intercultural awareness, it is critical to expand textbook material in order to generate more relevant and culturally acceptable information for Indonesian learners, given the textbook's critical role in the teaching and also learning process. That's all from me. Thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.